Hi everyone, I'm Felix. And I'm giving a talk about Hive openings. That's what you do when Frosco asks you to give a talk and you're like, what do I do? What can I talk about? And he's like, talk about hivegame.com. Like, I mean, like everyone can just like go to the website and look at it. Like if you want to like see something like more interesting, then like go somewhere else, right? Like don't need to give a talk about that. And then I was like, what do I do? And then like for the longest time I had no clue. And then I was like, what would make like hivegame.com a lot better than it is right now? It would be an opening explorer. So over the last couple of weeks while I wasn't biking, I wrote an opening explorer. It's not live and it won't be live for a while, but to test it, I threw in all of the 6,369 games from board space that have been played in the last couple of years. The data set is so small because I mainly use competitive games between real players, no bot games, no guest games. So let's talk about ancient openings. I mean, ancient openings is maybe like a bit, with a game that has like a 20-year history where we have like 6,000 games, a bit presumptuous. The ancient opening, as everyone knows, it broke the game. There were way too many draws. We stopped playing it. So let's move on to modern openings. And we'll go through them one by one. And I'll have like a couple of like notes on like what you should play, what you shouldn't play, and what might break the game in the future. So currently we have a win rate of 53% for white, 44% for black, and the rest are draws. So that is with all the expansions. So when I'm talking about like games I'm talking about now are only since 2013, all games are PLM. There's no base games. All of them are, most of them are tournament games. Yeah. So, 2 point something percent of games end in draws. These are the three openings you should not play, and people have figured that out because like Spider has played 6%, it wins 34% of its game. The Beetle sees even less play at 3% of the games, wins 44 of them, and the Grasshopper plays 16% of the games and wins 47 of them. I mean, at that, if you have an overall win rate of like 53% for white, you should not play any of these. If we stop playing them, the white win rate will go up. Yeah, don't play them competitively because you're not going to win. Let's talk about and. And is kind of special. I wasn't sure whether to put it in the don't play this or in the play this category because it has an okay win rate, but almost no one plays it. So it's like hard to say whether this is just to like Vimy playing this because he wants to experiment and like shock someone and like then take a game of them with a subpar opening. But like just to give you an idea, like how these games usually look, you play your ant and your mosquito, and then you attack with your mosquito. Wins you a bit above average. But overall, it's the same. Whatever comes, you just attack the queen with your mosquito. In this case, it even wins 66% of all games, which is not bad. So maybe like go out and experiment a bit. But the data set is just too small. With like just 4% of the games, it's hard to say whether we just had like strong players playing weak players, but yeah, unfortunately, not really a often seen opener. The mosquito is interesting because it has almost the best win rate at 58% of the games, but it falls in the ant category with just like 4% of the games being played with the mosquito. So how do you play mosquito? Well, you put down the mosquito and attack with our ant. So basically the same as we saw with the ant opening. So you attack the queen, then you win 63% of your games. If you then follow it up with an attack, with like playing your Pillbug of the mosquito, you win 80% of your games. And that should give you an idea how often it's played, because like when the number gets round, not that many games have been played with it. Yeah, but like just create chaos, and that seems to work well, especially for Eucalyx. Let's get to the opener in Hive that like most of us play, which is White Ladybug. It sees about 51% of all games start that way, and the win rate is okay at 55%. So let's look at a couple of do's and don'ts for this opening. The rotated diamond is pretty strong at like 64%, and you see like there's numbers behind the dots, so like this has actually seen some play. Really good win rate. Z rotated diamond, solid opener. The fun thing is, if you play what we call the like classic diamond, your win rate drops drastically. So maybe for everyone competitive out there, try the rotated diamond instead of the classical diamond and see where like these numbers hold up. The fun thing is, if you play it like that, where your ant is touching your queen instead of the mosquito, then that's a bad diamond and it loses 70% of the games.
Can I have a question to the rotated diamond?
Yeah.
Do you have some data how many games were played like that?
I can give you the data. It's around, if I remember correctly, 50 games.
50?
50. 50, yeah.
Low, right?
I mean, it's 1% of the games.
Yeah, but it also depends who played them.
Of course. I mean, that is the problem with Hive, like making like any kind of like statements about like opening theory is limited to the fact that like recorded Hive games a day, like in like the entirety of Hive on like BGA is about like 1 million games. That's about what lead chess alone sees in chess games a day. So like the entirety of like Hive play you can put into one platform one day for chess. So like making accurate statements is currently really hard. Yeah. And since we don't have access to like the BGA games, and even if we had access to the BGA games, we would like need to heavily filter there, because a lot of games on BGA like are between people who aren't like competitively playing the game. So like the whole thing is like kind of hard to like, yeah. Yeah, if you play the bad diamond with the ant next to the queen in a C, your win rate rises again. And so like, it's not that drawish for black if the win rate with the bad diamond in a C is 55% for white. So maybe black players, try something else than playing a C if you want to win. Attacking early with the and, without like playing a mosquito first, drops your win rate. So don't attack early, play that mosquito. In a C, if you attack the wrong place, it even drops down to like 30%. It's a bit higher if you attack over here, the win rate goes up a bit, but like early attacks in a C for white are bad. So what should you do as black? Don't play the standard diamond. Play this opener and drop white's win rate to 30%. So let's look at the Pillbug. The Pillbug has a win rate of a whopping 58%. It sees play in like 15% of the games or 100% of Hive 2's games. So what you do is you play your queen in line and then you just blindly attack. Gives you a 58% win rate. If you get the mosquito of your opponent's stack, your win rate goes up to 62%. If you make the mistake of playing a diamond, your win rate drops. You need to attack with white Pillbug. You can even like drop this even further by letting you like be forced into a C. So the queen needs to be in line if you play Pillbug. So what is the whole motivation and why did I build this? In Lichess, you have like an opening explorer where you can like move any piece, you can pick old games, you can see how many games have been played that have this opening. On HiveGame, on HiveGame, we now have the code in the back end, but it's not exposed in the front end. So where I want to take this one day is because every move that you make on hivegame.com has a hash, we can easily query the database for all games that contain that hash. The hash is rotation independent. It's independent of how many moves you've made. It's just the board position, whether it's rotated, flipped, or whatever. When it matches, it matches. So the idea is in the future to categorize all games and let you, through the analysis tool, search through all games that have been played on hivegame.com, which is currently around 2,000. So 2,000 games versus the, what was it, like almost 7,000 games on board space. So like, if you keep on playing, we can repeat this talk in like a year or two, and I can actually give you like a good estimate of what a really good opening is, and not just what a really good opening is that like 3 really good players played 20 times during the World Cup. So if you want to keep this project going, how about just like instead of buying an opening book by Judoka in like 3 years, maybe throw us a tenner and keep the project going. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
I was expecting first player advantage to be higher. I know 6,000 games is not much, but it's also not really.
Well, the first player advantage rises a lot, right? Like if you try to go back, then this happens. I mean, like, just take out all the games that, like, take out all, if you go back, like, look at, don't play this. This makes up, like, some 30% of the games, right? And they're all losing. If you take out these games, the first player advantage rises. So the thing is, like, I mean, if you play the bongo cloud, right, your win rate drops. If you play any of these, your win rate drops. So, like, just don't do that, and white, like, the first player advantage will go up. So if we prune this for, like, only games with, like, good openings for white, the win rate goes up.
So your statistics already included these openings as well, right?
Yes.
It wasn't excluded.
Yeah. No, this is all games played on board space by humans since 2013.
Did
So,
you
like,
try, like, if you just remove these outliers and see what the percentages in that case?
if you have like 3 seconds, I can give you the numbers. But no, I didn't. So like, but like, what is this? 25%. So like, 25% of the games, if you remove them, then just do the quick math. Then like your win rate as white goes up a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it is hard to draw any conclusions just based on the final result because they might or someone might lose the game just because of blunder at the very end of the game, and then what was in the beginning and in the opening, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm more interested in the first play advantage in general, regardless of the opening.
But these statistics are great. We just need more games.
Yeah, you just need to keep on playing. And keep on playing on a platform where we own the games, right?
Yeah, and regarding the thing that you are planning to implement, I really like it. Maybe one more suggestion, maybe you are already planning to implement that as well, but it would be really great if there was some kind of tool for preparing for one specific opponent in a tournament. For example, if I know that tomorrow I will play against Francesco and I will be white, then I'm not sure if you are familiar with chess programs like ChessBase, because it could generate basically a statistics, a trio of the games that given player played in the past, and then I can just go through the individual variations and see for overlaps with my opening repertoire.
Interesting.
So I know that I will play, for example, if I will be black, I will check how many times Francesco plays the Pillbug, how many times he plays the Ladybug, and I go on and I see always the options.
I mean, just adding a filter per player to start with is a good
Yeah.
to this opening search engine. Just
I mean, that's easy. We can just like restrict them to one player,
yeah, right. Okay.
and then you can.
Start.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
If you build an API for that, you can do it separately from Hive also. So you don't have to put everything into Hive. If you don't want to at first, then you could backport whether it's working or not.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's happening a lot with leeches. A lot of the features are now back into leeches, but they were outside of leeches before.
Okay.
So the API is very something. It's something that you need to consider.
Any more questions or suggestions, Florian?
Beyond just openings, have you also maybe analyzed the best counters to each opening?
No, I haven't. Except for like the one black opening where you play your Pillbug against the standard diamond. I haven't really looked at like openings that lose for white. But I mean, we can. So which one was it? So this is no one. This one is the only counter I found while like looking at like games that or openings that looked interesting.
How many games is this based on? Because I don't think this is a good response.
How many games is this particularly based on?
It's all Max Shark's games. I don't know why white Pillbug would be so good and black Pillbug would be so bad. Right? I don't know.
Because white's not good.
Because you can cover it with beetle.
So that would be the. So maybe that's why, like, if white started with beetle instead of mosquito or something, or mosquito beetle instead of mosquito ant, maybe the statistics would be different. I'm just wondering. I agree that it's not that great for black, but it's more feeling than.
Does the duration of the game make a difference, like the amount of moves? So the longer games to the shorter games?
Well, it's hard to tell, isn't it? Yeah, not important.
To answer your question, 45 games. No, not that many. It's not a position that comes up like super often. Like black Pillbug doesn't see a lot of play. Yeah.
Tomorrow everyone plays black Pillbug. So we have more stats.
In other words, we just need a lot more people playing the game. That's what we're trying to say.
Yes.
Well, yeah, if they're
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.